Hello. Hi, everyone. I always feel like I should start saying hi right away because I know there's always that awkward pause, but I like to wait to see the live symbol to know that it's true. As always, first question, can you hear me? Although I'm feeling pretty confident that you can. It's the middle of the day for some of you. So if you have the time, I'm happy that you're able to just come chill and chat about some comic news. There was a lot of stuff that got announced over the weekend. So I thought it would be fun to go over some of it, not all of it, and just highlight some other things from the past week that I thought was interesting. Maybe you do too. Maybe you haven't heard of it as of yet, but there's some bigger stuff. I put that at the head of the title because I know that those are the things that people tend to be most interested in, crossover time. They've been hinting at that for a while though, especially if you read Doomsday Clock, and then people who read that will feel very validated and vindicated that those hints at the end there are coming to fruition. Hi everyone, I see people are starting to show up. Hello, hello, hello. Oh no, people are still waiting for the Harley Quinn Fartacular. We still have some time. We're leading up to it. There are other releases in between and other things being announced. I have a bunch of tabs, of course, as always, because there's also new costumes for people, and that's always fun to take a look at. I have the solicits for DC. I don't know if we'll have that much time. We need to come back and do that at some other time. But we shall see how long it takes us to take a look at everything. So let some more people come in, and then we'll go to our first tab that I have, which is the Marvel and DC crossover. So I thought I'd ask how many of you are excited for that in general? Have you read the past ones? The first video on this channel was actually to the Superman Amazing Spider-Man crossover that they did back in the 1970s. So it's always cool to see them try and team up again. It has been quite a while. I think in a recent stream, somebody said they didn't feel that it could happen again. So let me see. Oh, I see some people are saying not excited. I've heard about it in passing, but no details. And the amalgam omnis and the like did come out very recently. My doorbell just rang and my heart like leapt. I don't know why. It's just a doorbell. I wasn't prepared. Does anybody else get startled by their own doorbell? It's so rare that somebody actually rings it. I was not ready. People are asking, do you think they'll bring back Tim and Jubilee? Probably not. Most likely not. So let's go over and look at the tab that we have. Let us share the screen for details. You see, that's why it has confirm in red up here. It's because there've been hints and rumors for a while. So let's get into some of the details. They confirmed this at the Comics Pro Retailer Expo, which is where a lot of stuff ends up coming out. I'm not sure how much of it is supposed to come out or not, how much of it is controlled leak. I was about to say leakage, and like that doesn't sound good. Let's like alter that phrasing, but then I said it anyway. So what we have here is announced by the Marvel and DC respective editors-in-chiefs. That's CB Cebulski for Marvel and Marie Javins for DC. They don't have a lot of details yet, just that it's a thing that's happening. If they were to put it in one of those solicits, it would be one of those ones where it's TBA, TBD, all of those kind of things. But it's been widely reported that we're getting at least 2 one-shots, Marvel and DC and Marvel. So again, trust nothing until it's in your hands. Keep the grains of salt around. So what we have some quotes as well that from CB like let's see what we have. Are another crossover a modern crossover? Are you up for it as CB? Turning to the retailers. What do you think? We're getting some atmospheric adding in here. A large appreciative cheer led him to reply, I guess we have no choice but to do this. Marie Javins asked, can I make more fart comics as part of this? Oh, there's no escape. There's no escape from it. We're talking about it at official events and making light. Let's see how that lands for all of you. Are you prepared for jokes by the actual establishment about the Harley Quinn fart comic or no? CB countered, I don't think that that's exactly what they were talking about. This sounds like something that they wrote down in practice beforehand. Marie exclaimed, but I brought the swatches. I brought the swatches from the printer. You can smell it. You can come and smell it. I've got them right here. No. I don't want to. Is one of the jokes going to be that they smell really nice? Are we going to go into that? Because then that actually gets into some stereotyping and stuff that women have had to combat around the idea that they don't fart at all. But we'll see. Everybody's overthinking this comic, and the fact that it's coming up here, now we definitely have to cover it for sure. So many of you in the chat just want Paul to be Mr. and Mrs. Pitlick. You're like, Paul, the stream just started, and we're already got Paul up in the chat. CB shook his head saying, well, I don't know that's what their applause was about. I think they're talking about a Marvel DC/DC Marvel crossover. To cheers, Marie asks, can we get it done in 2025? CB concluded, I think we put together some creators and some character ideas. So it's been a while since they've collabed together. I think it would be fun. I'm curious, would you want it to be that they team up to fight a thing together, or you want them to do another versus thing? Because they've done both. Or the 70s and 80s ones, a lot of times those ones were just as though they were happening in the same universe. Like they all just existed at the same time. They didn't fully address it. There's kind of a fun element to that. Yeah, Amalgam, that was when they got smushed and you got Dark Claw and all that. Dark Claw's always the one that comes to mind first. But I mean, the design and just Wolverine and Batman smushed together. Oh, Super Soldier just came to mind. They're all coming back. Did any of you get those Omnis? So how do you feel about this really vague, maybe we're gonna do something kind of announcement with jokes about Harley Quinn Fartacular peppered throughout? There is no escape from the Harley Quinn Fartacular comic. Do you like that they're trying to make light of the reception to it, or do you wish that they were just ignoring it? I'm curious as to your thoughts. If/when this crossover ends up happening, of course I'll be there. I'm intrigued to see how they do it. I'm always intrigued to see what they come up with when they cross. And it's just a nice thing to see them be more friendly like that in terms of collaboration. Stephen Gamble, it did have it had Spider Boy. It did. He had some nice 90s hair going on. Green Skull 3 says, I think it reeks of desperation. I think they've probably been planning it for a while. It takes a long time to get these things going, and it's been hinted at for years. Although, I mean, when they do it, it is a boost. That's not always a bad thing, though. I saw this earlier, Matthew, the Harley Quinn, Gwen Stacy. We need a crossover for like Harley Quinn and Gwenpool, especially now they're doing that Gwenpool thing. But I mean, there's still maybe that's why they brought her back. I doubt it. Think of the covers, though. Think of all the covers that they could do if they did that. They would print themselves. I'm seeing the various responses to it. It'll be interesting. Seeing like, loathe entirely. And just Paul versus Mr. and Mrs. Pitlick, because I need this crossover event to kill Paul, says Luis. Paul's here. We're not getting rid of Paul for at least a little bit. They did a short reprint of that small one, Infinite Bandit, a little while ago. And it like the proceeds went to the family and the like. But it would be nice if they did like a full scale reprint of the JLA versus Avengers for sure. Stephen Gramble is saying, I think it would be Deadpool and Harley. It would. And at that point, would they acknowledge the ship that people have been shipping them for years? Would you want them to? I feel like it wouldn't be a proper, complete crossover, especially with the fourth wall breaks, if they didn't acknowledge the Harley Pool ship that was really it wasn't the hugest thing, but it was definitely prominent for a period in the early like 2010s for a little bit. So let me see what else we have. There's another thing I wanted to talk about from Dynamite. Speaking of Harley Quinn, it's probably why some of you were bringing up Harley Quinn and Deadpool. They are doing a crossover with bloop, Harley, Quinn, and Elvira. So, they love to do a whole bunch of crossovers over there. They've got Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor coming in to do it. And I think that could be very fun. This just seems like it's going to be one of those just go with it type of crossovers. There's a decent amount of those over at Dynamite. They vary. Sometimes they really land, sometimes they don't. I'm hoping this is one of the fun ones. Is this a crossover that you were expecting slash hope? Did you not know you needed it until this instant? Sometimes that happens whenever we discuss crossovers. You're like, wow, I didn't know I wanted this until right now. So we have some quotes, of course. So this project is in its very early stages. We're announcing a lot of early stage things. So as always, trust nothing. All right. So what do you get when you slam a maid of mischief and a mistress of the dark together? Asked Amanda Connor. Sheer chaos, escapades, and fun. Holy pandemonium. Who wouldn't want to see the vivacious Elvira and the hijinky Harley Quinn get together for a bunch of wisecracking and clowning around? And a bit of naughtiness. Okay, maybe a lot. I can't wait to work on this book. We've been promised naughtiness. Jimmy Palmiotti added, we are super excited to not only revisit our lovely Harley Quinn and her gang in Coney Island, but it seems like a match made in heaven or hell. Having the ever-stunning Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, along for the ride in this team-up to end all team-ups. Well, don't say that. There'll be more team-ups. We are talking icons here. This is one of those circumstances where the characters have so much in common that the books almost write themselves. The trouble these two are going to be getting in will be epic. All right. And then we have Cassandra Peterson talking about it as well, which is fun, saying, recently I've gotten the chance to have my Elvira character crossover with some other icons of horror and even personal friends of mine, like H.P. Lovecraft and Vincent Price. My fiendish fans may recall that my entry to comics was with DC, and it's exciting to be working with them again and with one of their most revered characters. There are a few who can match my charisma and appeal, but Harley is up there. So they're really hyping it up. I think it will be a fun one. Knowing Dynamite, I'm sure there will be tons of covers. I see Louise going, the variants are going to be crazy. Yes, for sure. If you really liked the Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor Harley Quinn, I think this will be fun and up your alley. Whenever they have the opportunity to revisit her, the tone stays the same. They're still able to get back into that vibe. So if you enjoy that, this will probably be a lot of fun for all of you. I'm seeing also there's Demona over here. I see you, Demona. Nick Barucci added, this is such a great story. We had to bring the best creators on board for this historic team up and crossover. And then we have more hype, which of course is what you do. If you're going to be doing the announcement solicit, you gotta hype it up. Fear Reaper is saying, I'm just so burned out on Harley, man. Yeah, I know a lot of people do have Harley burnout. I can understand why she's the character you would pick for something like this, though. But I know that some people are just so very tired of Harley. But would you rather have this Harley or Harley Quinn, Fartacular Harley? I think I'd rather have this Harley, but we shall see once they both arise how they turn out. Yeah, Archie meets the Ramones. Jeffrey's talking about is a fun one. Batman 66 meets Spider-Man Japan. A bunch of you are proposing the things that you want to see. Normal Alien Man wants to see Blue Beetle and Spider-Man. There are lots of potential fun team-ups. What do you think would be the oddest one that they could throw out there that you would be into? That you would think, yes, this makes a total amount of sense. Oh, Nikki 415 is saying absolute DC versus Ultimate Marvel. It's too soon. It's too soon. Give them time. They need more time to get everything. No, I'm not ready. I'm not even ready for it to all connect inside of its own universe. I don't need them to cross over quite yet. Barbie versus the Punisher that Penman Lupine is suggesting just sounds like a very good time. You could get very, very strange with that. Kiblix is asking randomly. I was wondering if you bought any of the DC Comics compact editions or DC Finance collections. I have. I have bought. I've bought one compact just because a lot of the things that they're releasing in that form are things I already have, and I've got a couple of finest. And the formatting is nice. The formatting is nice. The compact, if you're used to seeing things a bit bigger, it's a bit smaller, but you get everything you need, and the price is really nice. I think it's a good way to, get some people to check out some of those older storylines. And they have been picking some very solid ones. And they're just so good. All of those old classic stories that they've been reprinting, they've been a really, really good time. So there's also, let me do the Batman one, and then I'll get back into, we'll flip between like mainstream and indie. See how blue my face got? It's because of how much blue they've put on to this Batman costume, and that's one of the things they keep hyping up. They're like, look at his costume. So let's look at it. Batman gets an updated blue and gray costume, a new Batmobile, and more. There's a lot more blue. It's really funny when you think about it, because the reason that some of the blue was there initially was just because of the coloring and the printing, and it was supposed to be black, but then later it was actually during the new look era meant to be blue. So now we're getting some more of that back in blue. DC today, it wasn't today, surprised announced a new Batman #1 comic launching in September. So start planning your lives for September for the new Batman. And it's going to be with Matt Fraction writing and Jorge Jimenez still doing the art. So we have Fraction saying about it, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Batman. It was the first comic I ever read. Jorge and I have a very superhero forward kind of take on Batman. Detective to the back. We've got a new Batmobile. We've got a new costume. We've got new characters. And we've got a lot of old ones too. Good and bad. All the stuff that makes Batman the coolest character in comics. We want to celebrate it all. That sounds a little vague. We've got new characters and old characters. But I get what they're saying. They want it to be more, I guess, are we aiming towards a bit of a lighter tone? And then we have what Jorge is saying, which is, as a DC artist, I have to say this is something I've always dreamed of, and getting to do it alongside someone as amazing and talented as Matt is just incredible for me. As for my work on Batman, the artistic side, I've poured years of hard work into this series. Over time, I've had to adapt different styles and paces alongside James and Chip. Learning and enjoying every step of the way, I've explored Gotham City from multiple angles, but more importantly, I've gradually built up more and more artistic tools that have led me to the current synthesis of my style. Here's our look at the costume. Are you enjoying all the blue that they felt the need to emphasize? I mean, I've always liked the blue accent costume personally. We've got some pages. Oh, because this is the official actual announcement, so you can't zoom in on them quite as much. So we're renumbering it again. So we're relaunching it at #1 once more. It always looks nice. Jimenez's art is fantastic. It looks good. So he goes on to say, for this new chapter, we're crafting a revamped aesthetic, bringing back Batman's blue suit in a definitive way. It's a small shift meant to feel both classic and fresh, subtly evolving while staying true to the original design we've used in recent years. At the same time, I'm working on Gotham City's visual identity, giving it a fresh approach that sets it apart from my previous takes. I'm aiming for a slight pop influence, something that subtly nods to classic stories while keeping the dark and ominous feel of contemporary Batman. I just bringing it back in a definitive way. It makes it sound like he should bust in like the Kool-Aid man wearing it. Like, I'm back in blue. He used to yell it from the top of a gargoyle in the city. I'm wearing a blue costume again, Gotham. Post it everywhere. So here's some of the look over here. I always like looking at the design aspects. I like there's a little X next to this one, like not that cape, this cape. This bottom cape is the cape. Oh, here's our logo, because we gotta show the logo. Do you think this logo is gonna cause quite the same uproar as the large Batil Axe logo? Probably not. But that's what they're doing over there with that. So this got a big push as well, mostly because, I mean, from a retailer perspective, it's a new number one and a new creative team. So that's pretty significant. But in terms of what they're going to do, they've kept it pretty vague. We still got to, get through Hush. We haven't even gotten through Hush 2 as of yet. And we're announcing the next team. Oh, someone's saying they feel the logo is too techy. They feel it's giving you Batman Beyond vibes. You're going into Neo Gotham and not staying with current Gotham. uh, Ben Chan says that logo isn't rectangle enough. We need more rectangle. Yeah, it's true. Half a new creative team. Chemdog is right. And the artist is staying, and it's an artist that people like, so that's significant. Because you know how big of a difference that art can make on a book in terms of, especially when people are really enjoying a specific artist style, when it changes, sometimes for some people that's their off point. They're like, I can't do it. So what else do we have? There was all the cancellation news. Some people sent me that Power Girl got canceled. I'm not surprised, but not for the reason that the people who sent me that seem to think, because they were like, I'm so glad it wasn't for me, which totally fair. There were definitely things in that run that I don't think worked in terms of the characterization of Power Girl, but I think it got canceled because they're doing a new Supergirl series. They announced that recently that they're going to have more Supergirl because they're really pushing Summer of Superman. And I'm wondering if they're trying to kind of put Power Girl a bit down to avoid, any potential confusion. And that might have been coupled with the fact that I'm not sure how well it was selling, but it might have been a good chance to just be like Supergirl time because she's also getting a new costume. So I have that one too. Let's look at it. Well, let's just look at our costumes. Why not? We're right here. The Maiden of Might. We're calling her that again. Oh, let's go. The Maiden of Might joins DC's Summer of Superman publishing initiative because, of course, she does. Prominent member of the Superman family. So this is going to be written and illustrated by Sophie Campbell. And then let's see. Available for pre-order May 14th. We're getting towards the summer. It's coming closer and closer. Then they just explain here that who she is. So we have Kara Zor-El has always been a key member of the super family in Metropolis, but Campbell is taking Supergirl in a new direction among familiar surroundings. Is that her cat? Did she get her cat back? As she gets back to her roots in the town of Midvale, but returning to her hometown for so many years away already presents some challenges. There's already another Supergirl there, protecting the town and saving the day. Readers will have to check out the debut issue on May 14th to find out if the real Supergirl can discover the identity of the imposter and stop them before they steal her very life. It's Streaky. Did she get Streaky back from Power Girl? That was still one of the oddest moments in that comic to me, was just all of a sudden when Supergirl just gave her beloved cat to Power Girl, just like, you need this cat more than me. It's like, but why though? So let's see. We have quotes before we get into the costume. So Campbell says, I came up in the comics industry doing mostly graphic novels that I wrote and drew myself. So doing the same with Supergirl feels like I'm returning to my storytelling roots. My main touchstones to Kara Zor-El were the stories and wild costumes from the 70s and the 1984 Supergirl movie. Ah, yes, the costume contest era when she had many looks, and also the little mini, like it wasn't a mini series, but the run was very short in the 70s where she won a lot of dates. And the CW show, which I was a huge fan of. In creating this version of Supergirl, I'll be drawing on some of those influences as the series unfolds. So I hope you liked the CW Supergirl. I hope there's a lot of camp from the Supergirl movie. So here's the costume. This costume was designed by Art Germ, so Stanley Lau. And so there's his version of it down there. So what do you think? Do you like the costume? How are you feeling? Because Supergirl has had a lot of looks. So how do you feel about this one? I wish that, I kind of want to almost do like a little video putting it up next to all of the others. She is fashion. She is the moment. I think I like this one. I think I like this one. I like it. Yeah, I see a bunch of you saying that you like it. Fear Reaper didn't like the jacket. You weren't a fan of the jacket's gone. Now we're free. We're free from I really like the high waist on this skirt. Into it. I know some people are saying they don't like the crop top. I actually like it. You can see the abs. If you have abs, sometimes you just want to show them to people. All right, so here's what Artroom says about the costume. Having done artwork for video games, I'm pretty familiar with creating character designs and costumes. I'm designing a new costume for Supergirl. I wanted to create something fresh while keeping the key elements intact. I adopted the theme of sporty and fun, but packs a punch and incorporated these elements in the costume. I also made changes to the chest symbol to give it a more dramatic spin. Sophie's captured the look perfectly, and I can't wait for readers to see it. Yeah, it is very like I work out now that you see that quote. It's like I'm going to the gym. Like you could turn this into gym wear very, very easily. Yeah, if you made like a little skirt under there, you could sell this. DC should get on that. This could be sportswear that people wear at the gym. I'd wear it. One sale right here, even though it would just be in my house. But I'd still wear it. Come on. Would you wear that as a workout look? Oh, can I zoom in on those? Oh, I can't. Let me see if I can find them in another announcement, because it would be nice to see those covers a little bit closer if we can. We'll see. My computer's been fighting me a bit today, so I'm slightly frightened to try and make it do anything that's even remotely complex. Because some days it doesn't feel like doing that. Let us see. Do 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 do. You'll get some Mario music. Hopefully not too good, or they'll demonetize it. Like, oh no, that theme was too good. Oh, but there's some other oh yeah, there's also the last dog of Krypton. I just ended up on the Krypto announcement instead, because they're doing the most for the summer of Superman. I think it's going to be fun. I know some people don't like Krypto. I got some Krypto comments on the last video I did, which was about the Battle of the Superheroes episode of Batman Brave and the Bold, because I said some nice things about Krypto, and some people were like, "Man, Krypto." They're like, "No." So I like Krypto. I think Krypto's cute. I think you can do some really fun things with Krypto. Are you excited for a little crypto book, which is The Last Dog of Krypton? I wanted to also share, there were some Ghost Machine announcements that I am excited about, because you know that I follow the Ghost Machine and everything that's happening over there, and I like to try and tell you about some of the indie stuff when I can. Jesse6, thank you very much. I also do Mario music. Yeah, it's just an automatic theme that plays in my head. What's your automatic theme that plays when you're like trying to find or look for something? For me, it's the Mario theme, and if I have to walk somewhere very far, it's the Lord of the Rings theme from Fellowship of the Ring. It just makes the walk that much better because you feel so much more epic. Okay, looks to seeing Jeopardy theme. Marilyn Duke is asking, Streaky book when? I know, Streaky used to have all kinds of fun adventures back in the day. We need more Streaky. And Comet. Come on, let's get Comet in there. Comet as a horse too. Let's just go for it. All right, let's pull this one up. There we go. All right, so Ghost Machine has some new titles. So they're doing Sisterhood, which is a Hyde Street tie-in. So they're expanding the Hyde Street verse, which I'm really excited about because I really like Hyde Street a lot. And they're doing the first Ghost, and they've been hinting at the Ghost for a while over in the unnamed universe, because there are 4 universes at Ghost Machine. The unnamed one is the one that has, Geiger and Redcoat and Junkyard Joe in it. And so also the Ghost, there's a bunch of characters they've kind of talked about that haven't gotten their own series as of yet. So we're doing that. That one, First Ghost, is going to be Brad Meltzer, Jeff Johns, and then Dean Ha on the art. And so on it, he says, follows it's a new president and his son move into the White House, because there's a whole like altered history thing going on in the Unnamed Universe books. And so Meltzer says that Jeff and I have been planning this for years. It's a dream come true to work with friends and creative titans like Jeff and Jean. Comic books are one of my first creative loves, and I'm thrilled to be part of Ghost Machine, where we can create stories that we're all invested in. They all say that whenever I talk to any of them. They all say that, and I think it really comes through in terms of the work that they're creating. So for Maytal Jute, who last did the Devour one, that like is getting to do another one. So that's going to be interesting. And this time the artist is Layla Lace. And Devour, I think, was a bit too long, but I really liked some of the core elements in terms of the horror that I was working through psychologically. So I'm really intrigued to see something else. Also, Logan, thank you very much just for those lovely eyes of yours. It's appreciated. Some people are very annoyed by my villain glasses that, reflect all light, no matter what I do with the lights or where I put them or anything. One day we'll have it where we don't have reflections and I won't know what to do with myself. So this is the Sisterhood series. Oh, I do like that cover. I like that cover a lot. Let me shrink out so we can see it a little better. Just so basically on Hyde Street, there are a bunch of other characters that are there trapping souls. So it gives a lot of opportunities to explore just random stories happening on the street, which I find really, really fun. So on it, Lise, the artist, said, Maytel and I had so much fun working together on Devour that we knew we wanted to tell another story together. When Maytel pitched me the story for Sisterhood, I immediately said yes. And when Ghost Machine offered me a chance to work with them on an exclusive basis, it was another easy answer for me. So Ghost Machine is just keeping on producing stuff. I think there's a lot there worth checking out. I will always be like, read Rook Exodus, because Rook Exodus is a lot of fun. It's coming back soon as well after hiatus. So there's a lot to check out there. Also, the Rockefellers is a really good time in my opinion. There's just a lot of really fun comics out there to check out at the moment. Oh, speaking of, I've recently finished The Weatherman, and that was a really interesting sci-fi series. If you're looking for some kind of almost apocalyptic, the world is ending sci-fi things to look into, The Weatherman. There's a big gap in between volumes 2 and 3, and so tonally it alters a tiny bit, but not too much. Rachel Leah, thank you very much. The bob is fire. This is one of my favorite wigs. I love this one. The problem is I love the bob so much that I'd be one of those people where I just have multiple bobs in different colors. And yes, Mind the Gap, the Hyde Street is the horror universe one. Rook Exodus is their sci-fi one, although there was one panel in the Rockefellers, which is from the Family Odysseys universe, where it showed like an imprint of the universe and you saw different things from all of them in that tapestry, which was kind of fun. It was a little nod to everything that's going on in those universes. We also have Captain America news. There's new Captain America that's making the rounds because it's going to add some to Captain America's history, and there's a new creative team. So, and again, just because it's that weekend where they announce things, so they make the rounds. I think it's interesting to see and keep up with what's out there, because so many times when we're talking about things on stream or even just in comments of videos, a lot of the comments are, I didn't even know this was happening. So I think it's good to discuss these things, because the comic book industry, in my opinion, doesn't have the best marketing apparatus out there in terms of getting things out there. And for Fear Reaper, in terms of which Cap, it's Steve. We're talking about Steve. So let me get that one as well. Again, I just have tabs for days. No, I don't want notifications. I don't want them. There we go. Here we go. We have new Captain America comic from Chip Zdarsky will reveal Steve Rogers' first clash with Doctor Doom. So what they're doing is they're kind of inserting more things happening in between him waking up and joining the Avengers. So we'll see how well that ends up slotting in with everything. So this July, Chip Zdarsky is going to be helming the relaunch of Captain America alongside Valerio Schiti, which is they teamed up for Daredevil. So they're going to change how the world views Captain America forever. I hope you're ready for things to be changed. They always say that. Oh, packed with bold and relevant insights. That frightens me. And in addition, it says we can look forward to Cap suiting up in a never-before-seen stealth uniform and leading an all-new group of Howling Commandos. And we're going to see his previously untold first encounter with Doctor Doom. Let's get the official description. While Captain America slumbered in ice, the world changed for better and for worse. He awakens to a reality where battles are fought in the shadows through secrets and subterfuge, and villains aren't so easy to identify. There were secrets and subterfuge when he went to sleep. When a fledgling dictator named Victor Von Doom conquers Latveria, Steve faces a critical decision: adapt to a new kind of warfare or forge his own path. And what will the choice he makes in the past mean for his future? ChemDog is saying Steve's new bio. I mean, we kind of already know because we see where he's at, but let's see. On it, Zdarsky says, talking about this, I've been a massive Captain America fan for decades. I loved writing the grizzled older Cap in Avengers Twilight, so getting to write the actual Captain America title feels like a dream. We're exploring Cap's early days in the modern era with a twist that I think is really going to surprise readers. Let's get ready to be surprised. I'm pretty excited to get this out there in the world, especially with Valerio and Frank's amazing art. I've been approaching this title the way I approached my run on Daredevil, really trying to get in Cap's head with a grounded human look at who he is in this new world. Steve Rogers is the best of us, and I want that to come through on every page. So are you ready for insert adventures of Captain America and Doom? Because they're just doing a lot with Doom right now. Some people are already doomed out, and the One World Under Doom just started. Where are you at with Doom at this point? Cloud, that would be a real surprise. Victor X Steve secret past romance revealed. What a headline. What a headline that would be. Matt Krenz is saying more Doom is always good. So here's our promotional image where we get to see what we're looking at. I will also shrink that out for you so you can feel more like the shield is coming right at you, because that's clearly what they're going for vibe-wise. Oh, I didn't see that. Nick Dromas is saying, I don't know if you saw, I did not, but they just greenlit 3 more cartoons earlier today. My Adventures with the Green Lantern, Starfire, and a Superheroes in the High School show. They have been trying to make that Superheroes in the High School show forever. I wonder which version of it they greenlit. That has been floating around in the nether sphere for decades. I'm very curious what version finally got through. Oh no, Green Lantern. Now I'll be there. Oh. Let's take a look. Ooh, here's the stealth suit. Are you ready for the stealth? Oh, I do have a soft spot for the little wings on his classic costume. So we've got Stealthy Cap. Can I make Stealthy Cap big? Oh, there we go. I can. Now you can see it up close. What do you think of it? I like it. And of course, there's just the classic thing that they've got going on with the other one. Then we're seeing some of the Howling Commandos design over here. And we get to see some allies from the... What is going... Tony. Tony! Oh, Tony's so fancy. I do like that take on the classic armor. Why is Reed so happy? I miss, like, kind of salty, morally ambiguous Reed. There we go. I'll pull up more tabs after because we do have more things. So I'm getting some deets over here. It's a Jessica Cruz show, apparently set in the same universe as My Adventures with Superman. I like Jessica Cruz. I'm happy to hear that they're going to do more stuff with Jessica Cruz, if that's the case. Reynard City Update Channel, thank you very much. Dr. Doom does as he pleases. He toots where he pleases. That panel is a classic. That would be a fun cursed panels episode, actually. That's just fun. It's not cursed, but that's the name I went with for the series. And I like it. It's very dramatic. Carlos 8560, thank you very much. I'm excited to see Cap, but after the last run, I'm cautiously optimistic. Cap is a character I love, but Marvel usually never knows what to do with him. Do you like the idea of it being kind of an adventure set in the past, or would you be more keen if it was something happening in the modern era? Does that make you feel more or less trepidatious in terms of how you're feeling about it? I see people are asking questions about the high school and what's going to go on with that. Now it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. I need to check how much time I have. Like, do I have time to read all these solicits today? Chances point to no. I have them pulled up. How many of them are there? So there's a couple of I do have like what got canceled just because I like to keep up with that. Like, I know that Two-Face will end up being a mini, which makes sense in terms of what the plot was anyway. I know Power Girl is like potentially canceled, but maybe not. We'll see. Whatever happens with Power Girl, wherever they go in the future, it's such a little tiny thing. But I need her name to be Karen Starr officially, like forever again. It's such like petty nonsense. But I'm like, please. I just like that name more than Paige. Chemdog is asking if anybody is watching the new Spider-Man cartoon, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I still haven't gotten a chance to check that out as of yet. If any of you have, how do you feel about it? Are you enjoying it? Or I'm closing my tabs. That's the clicking noise that I know you can hear. You know what we didn't look at? We didn't look at these other covers or last day of Krypto. So let's pull that up too. So let's, sharing is caring. I want to share. Which one is it? Too many tabs. Oh my goodness. DC Summer of Superman. There we go. Life having 800 tabs open. Simulator. Blankman, thank you very much. Is saying alt-right channel, your boy Zach praises you. Lots of people watch this channel. I don't know whether he's alt-right or not, but a lot of people watch, and I hope that everybody who watches gets something out of it and enjoys. That's what the videos are for, entertainment, and hopefully learning some obscure comic history or getting excited about new comics to read or new costumes. And the more I look at this costume, the more I want to wear it to the gym. Oh no, Artyom designed it for me. So underneath this costume, we have the Krypto, the last dog of Krypton, which is going to be Ryan North and Mike Norton. So we have North writing saying Krypto's origin has always been done at kind of a high level. The little guy starts out on Krypton, ends up on Earth, and helps Superman fight crime. The chance to really define Krypto, to show that a little lost dog would go to show what a little lost dog would go through if he landed all alone on a strange alien world named Earth was really enticing. I also fell in love with the idea of treating Krypto as the actual dog he is. He doesn't talk, and we don't cheat by reading his thoughts and balloons either. Sad face. I love Krypto's thought balloons. Those are so fun in his events. There was some where he's contemplating wearing glasses as part of a disguise. Oh, I mean, I understand why one wouldn't make that choice, but still hurts. Mike Norton's art captures exactly what needs to be said in every scene. Oh, look at this Jai Lee cover. I love that. That's so fun. So, what's Krypto, the last dog of Krypton, about? We have through the 5 issues of Krypto, the last dog of Krypton. Krypto explores Earth in search of his family, finding himself lost and alone on our alien world, and with strange new superpowers quickly coming in instantaneously. Krypto begins traveling the strange planet he finds himself in the middle of, always on the trail of his lost friend Kal-El, a being now better known as Superman. That sounds fun. I admit that sounds like it's for me. Marilyn Duke is saying in the knee window, oh, the gap between her boot and her skirt. Is it too much for you? Do you want the boots to be higher or lower? Oh, that's sweet. Oh, boy and his dog. Best doggo. Oh, and okay, so we're getting Mark Waid will return to Superman with the artist Skylar Patridge with Action Comics 1087. They're going to be focusing on Clark Kent, Superboy, the adventures of Superman when he was a boy. Okay, so Wade says, I start the book with Clark as a 15-year-old boy learning to be a superhero for the first time. What is that like, learning to use your powers at that age? What kind of challenges are you facing? Skylar and I are also bringing Smallville a little more up to date. It still has the rustic feel to it, but farms don't look like that anymore. We've come full circle on Superman being Superboy. I remember, well, I wasn't there, but I remember obviously like reading through all of the he's not it anymore from the crisis, post-crisis, the Infinite Earths, and then it's just slowly come back more and more and more that he is Superboy once more. I like those concept pieces. Those are nice. Oh, look at the farm. That's just pretty. That's just a really nice, like, you could just put that on a wall somewhere, and just be like, this is, you wouldn't even need to explain, like, this is just rustic farm 101. Some people might actually identify that as the Kent farm, though. Do you think they would? Just by looking at it I think some people might. It does have a pretty iconic look, and here are the Kents down here. All right, this story will tie into the present storylines in DC comic books and takes the Boy of Steel to unexpected heights as he figures out what being a hero truly means. First stop, Metropolis's Expo of Tomorrow. Will Clark be able to blend into the crowd, or is Superboy about to make his public debut? I don't know why I added first. Oh, they're going to have the main cover by Ryan Sook. I think Summer of Superman could actually be pretty fire. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I hope it's fun. I'd like a fun Summer of Superman. Like, wouldn't all of you? I feel like that's the best potential outcome. The best of both worlds. You get to have, hopefully, a fun movie, and hopefully some people go into the comics. They're actually really making the effort to have them be synergistic, but not in an overly obnoxious way, just that there's stuff that you might be interested in reading. Like, if you like Krypto and you can go see a Krypto thing. I think they're being better about it than they have been in the past. And so far, there's been no announced storylines of the like. And it's like, and this character is dying or something like that. We'll see. There's still time. There's still plenty of time for something like that to happen. Tanya, thank you very much. If I lived on a farm like that, I would never leave for the city. It is very fantasy farm, isn't it? My dad grew up on a farm and he shows me pictures. It did not look like that. I think that is very much like what people imagine, the idealistic, the farm fantasy, because there is a farm fantasy out there that in many cases eliminates the actual hard work of working on a farm, which is a lot of work. There's a lot of upkeep. Those were all of the main things. We found some extra things too. But these solicits, as I scroll through them, are as ever, they're long. They're some very long solicits. So I think we might need to come back and do the solicits either at a later time or tomorrow. Like, because there's a lot of them. And I want to take the time to read them all dramatically. Would you be up for that? Would you be up for returning to check out solicits another time? Because I also want to take some time to take a look at a bunch of the covers, because they're just fun to go through with all of you. If I do it tomorrow, Marilyn Duke is asking, would it be at the same time? Same bat time, same bat channel? Yeah. Yeah, I think same bat time, same bat channel with solicits. I think that sounds like a plan. Let's do that. I'm going to hop off. This was just a quick lunch break for me, and I wanted to share some of this news with all of you because in my real life with like the friends that I have, not many of them are into comics. I don't want to talk their ears off with this news that I knew that a lot of you would be more excited about. So I will come back and we'll do even more of the upcoming stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that the rest of you have a great day, night, evening, whatever it is. Yeah, I went to my now dark mode and now it's no longer blasting light in my face. So enjoy, as I just said. I'm always so awkward ending these things. So there'll be more videos as ever coming soon, more streams, more everything. And I will hopefully see all of you there. Bye-bye.